we find the equation of the circle which has as diameter the join of the 2 points A and B. Okay, now I've drawn it here on the computer, okay, to see what's going on exactly here. And remember, when they want the equation of the circle, we always refer to our general equation, okay, which will be x minus a squared plus y minus b squared equals to r squared. And the circle centre will be the a and the b coordinate, and of course then the radius is just r. Now when you look at the information in the question, they don't tell us the centre of the circle. They also don't tell us the radius, okay, but we meant to work it out. And the key word here is the fact that it's the diameter that joins these 2 points, okay, on the circle. Now the diameter goes through the centre, of course, doesn't it? Okay, and we're able to then work out that centre point, okay, knowing these 2 points on the circumference, okay, because if you think about it, that centre point is halfway between A and B, yeah? So if we can find the halfway point from these two, then we've got the centre. And we know how to find the halfway point, or the midpoint, isn't it, of two coordinates. We learned that in coordinate geometry. So quite simply, we say the midpoint of AB, and if you remember the formula for it, okay, you add the x values in each of the coordinates and you halve it, okay? So you're finding an average, really, aren't you? Okay, and you get the middle value. And then, of course, the y coordinate of the midpoint, you add the y values and halve it. Okay, so for the midpoint of AB here, the x values, well, the x value in A is -2. The x value in B is 3. You add those x values, you halve it. Do the same then for the y values, -2 there, and 4 in B. Okay, so this brings up a lot of formula from coordinate geometry. So we work that out. If you work that out, that becomes a half, and if you work that out, that becomes 1. So there's my centre, half 1. Okay, there's my A and my B. So I can fill them in. I then need to work out the radius. But of course the radius is just this distance here, isn't it? Okay, so I just need to work out the distance using these two coordinates. Okay, now you can do it that way, or you could work out the distance of the diameter and then halve it. Should we do it that way? I think we'll work out the distance of AB, then we'll halve it. It's the same thing, because essentially I'm just working up the diameter. I work out the distance AB, and you halve it to get the radius. What's good about doing it this way is, you know, if I've made a mistake here, okay, obviously then, and I use these two coordinates to work out the radius, I'm going to get the radius wrong. So by using these two and then halving the answer, we're not going to be affected by whatever that answer is there. And also, of course, that's a fraction. We've got a fraction, haven't we? So we avoid direct fractions. We just look at the distance AB. So so that's the length formula, if you remember, from coordinate geometry. So you know, your choice. You can call this x2, y2. That could be your second coordinate. This could be my first coordinate. Okay, so it'll be x2, which is 3. Take away x1, which is -2. Okay, so you have double negative there. My y2 is 4. Take away then my y1, which is -2, so we have double negative there as well. Okay, so we just get our calculator and we can work that out. Okay, so we get square root, we've got the square root of 61 there. Okay, that's the distance AB. It's not very nice, but that's what I got out there. Now remember, distance AB, that's the diameter, isn't it? Okay, so then the radius is half of the diameter. So So you've just got to divide that by 2. So when it comes then to doing my equation, okay, I've got x then minus a. So remember a is at midpoint there, x value there. So x minus a half all squared. Y minus the b for the center point, which was 1 all squared. And then the radius then, well, you've got to square this, yeah? Okay, so we've got to square that. So if I square this, we'll square the square root, it becomes 61. And square the bottom there, you get 4. So there's my answer. There's the equation of my circle.